Now it's just two 7mm bolt screws, if you wish, these guys here that come out, and you've got these little cover plates here that come out there, so you can see that there's a kind of like a, okay, you can see a bit better to see. So you got the little notch there, put a screwdriver in, pick that up, pop them out. It's easy enough. Remove those two screws, then you just firmly pull this out, and they just push into those little plastic areas there. Now I was looking at these two lights here, the aftermarket one and the original, and I was swapped over the bulb, because the aftermarket one is just like a brake light, I think. And you see there's a wire come off this aftermarket one. It's just put together rather poorly, but that plug there is not compatible with this here, to why I'm swapping over the lights inside. Now you got this light here, not really too sure how to change that, but the lights swap over, so I was able to swap over to center. So you got the park brake from there. Now you see how much different they are. Original Holden one, aftermarket, and trying to find one that has the chrome insert there, impossible. I searched for hours, ended up having to settle. You got these ones here that have the full plastic cover over the top there, and that's what they went with, because the other ones that don't have this like that, it's all red. There's no style to them at all. It's just all one color, and that was quite ugly actually. So to give it a bit of style, went with this one, and the original one, yeah, just get boxed away, I guess. But I have to find out what this light, this other light here, is for. Okay, so the aftermarket one shows that that bulb was red when it should be amber. Clearly, that's tail and brake, indicator, reverse light, and just a bit more decoration for Parker. With the aftermarket, it wants this to be its brake. That must be the indicator, but it's red. But we want that to be Parker. I think I need to work out how to get the aftermarket lights working, that it's acceptable with Australian standards, but also looks nice. Brake lights on at the moment, indicator, that looks all nice, except for this plastic broken part right here. And it can either be, I can show you in there, where that red wire is. On one side, that's the Parker where it is right now. If I put that red wire to the other side, it's the brake. So it's supposed to be tail brake, not the other way around. That's not supposed to be tail brake, that is. And if that was amber, I'd be happy, but everything's red. So I still have to try and work out what's going on now. Like, it's a big enough light to show, but that's not Australian standard. The camera shows that kind of looks like an amber, which would be passable, but it's not. Visually, from my eyesight, that's red. I might try and use my other phone, see if it looks any different, because even this side here looks orange when that's red. Okay, the Samsung phone shows a bit different. Something that's more true to its color. Still a lot brighter than, that's a deep red, but the camera doesn't show that. And technology still not up to speed. Doesn't look right. You're not getting true visual here. And then, see, the Samsung phone makes that look more like a white, but it's, again, that's a red. Anyway, I'm going to keep on going into this. Once I've worked out a solution, then I'll show you what idea I came up with. Right, I just want to show you is what I was going to come up with an idea to do. Is if I put a resistance between this line here and that's to the Parker, it's a dimmer Parker, and I put a diode in line with that there, and then when you hit the brake, that'll bypass the globe that's at a resistance. Right, so this is the aftermarket wiring kit that's on this light. Now, as far as I can tell, 2 wires going to there, and it's only a 2-element bulb. It's a 2-element bulb, but it's 2 wires going through. I pulled this grommet out already to have a look, and it looks like it's wired up to the heavier lens, so that'll be the brightest light. It's not wired up to 2 different bulbs, so that's definitely set up as an indicator. And this one is set up as a parker, but how does the brake light work? So the parker, you know, it has to be brighter, obviously, for brake. And you got this part here that's wired over. You got this joining the 2 wires. So you got your earth and indicator and brake. And where's your parkers, you know? Now if I show you over here, so you got your earth, same as over here. Then you got your indicator, which would be right, the other side should be green. Then you got your brown, which would be your tail light, and your blue would be your brake. But according to this here, they are joining those 2 wires together, excluding them all together. But then you've got the middle wire that's connected here, but it's not doing anything here. See, there's nothing in the middle, if you can see that. There's no middle pin. So that's going to do absolutely nothing. By joining those 2 together and not having anything that this is going to make contact with when it's on here, is going to do absolute nothing. Okay, so I did put a resistor in line, and it was no good. It actually didn't light up, and the resistor just got hot. So using the bulb, I'm just going to stay with that idea. I know it's going to be, it's not all that bright, so it's not going to get hot. Now I've just got it soldered up and everything so I can show you. It's not taped up or anything yet, just want to show you is it working. So what I'm going to do is going to turn the parkers on, and I'm going to press the brake so you can see the difference between the difference with how it's going to work now. So hopefully you've got to see that, and I've got this diode here, just so I don't send a feedback to the car saying that the brake lights are still on when they're not. So when you brake, it goes through the diode, a direct line to the lights, and if it's not brake, then you know the power that's going to the parkers is not coming back down the brake line. It might look dodgy to some, but that's going to tuck in there. I didn't want to cut off the original plug, so it's easy enough to just take away everything I've done. The original wiring is still intact, the original plug is still on, so you could put the original light back on. If that was to ever happen down the track, it's an option. So push this plug back in. Let's hit it there. No, you can't. Okay, so we've got this clip here, back on. And it goes back on too. Okay, so I've got that clip back onto there. I'll push this in place. There's a way around everything, but clearly these aftermarket ones are a bit dodgy. But anyway, it is what it is. Okay, well that's in. I've got to do the same to this one now. So clearly the aftermarket lights, whoever set them up, weren't thinking the center's supposed to be an indicator and that's supposed to be park or brake. So that's how it's working at the moment. Now that it's bolted back in place, I'll turn the parkers on, hit the brakes a couple times just to see it working. And that's the taillights in. Cheers guys, catch us in the next one. And then I'll have park brake lights on the outside like the original ones did. The bigger problem is, and I don't know if you can see it, so I'll turn the parkers on. It's only along here that's lighting up. I think the bulb is a single bulb here. There's not a bunch of LEDs behind there. There's a single bulb over here that's lighting up over this section here. But with the resistance in it, you might be able to see better with the camera now. So I'll go turn the parkers on. Okay, can you see that? It's this one corner here where it looks like it's like the camera shows it all lit up a lot better than what it actually is. To me, it's lit up really bright along here, but it's dim along here around the bottom. So wish I could show you better. Camera doesn't pick up as much as, or as good as what you'd want it to. Anyway, I don't like that. I just don't know, really. I just don't know, because it would look better if it was all lit up around, but where you can see here, that's what I can see as well, but it's dimmer than what the camera shows. And this part here is more silvery grey, kind of like that there. When you don't have the light showing at the camera, you can see it better. See, it's more like that. You can see the camera. It's how they just wax out with the red light. When you go down, like if you go further down, it looks alright. I don't know.